ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
After a road trip that took them to Chicago and Cincinnati, the Yankees are back home in New York to start an interleague set. A.J. Burnett is going to be on the mound. A big crowd filing into the stadium under overcast skies. You do get a gift when you come, though, a bottle opener. Can the Yankees open up the secret of beating the Rockies? Tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Colorado Rockies in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees didn't finish up the road trip the way they wanted. A tough loss against the Reds on Wednesday night. But when you look at the road trip as a whole, it was very, very good. They went 4-2. They averaged 4.3 runs per game. The average wasn't as high as they would want it to be. Didn't score as many runs, only 4 home runs, but they did pitch well. Speaking of pitching, let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. For the Colorado Rockies, it's Ubaldo Jimenez, 2-7, 4.68 ERA. A.J. Burnett will go for the Yankees, 7-5 with a 4.05. John, the last time we saw Burnett was in Wrigley Field.
Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon at Wrigley Field. A.J. Burnett picking up his 7th win of the season. 5 1/3 innings, couple of earned runs, but he picked up 8 strikeouts in this ball game. The power curveball, always a dangerous weapon. Those 8 strikeouts actually tying a season high for A.J. Burnett. More importantly, picking up win number 7.
Now, A.J. Burnett looks like he's a different pitcher with a Russell Martin behind the plate. 13 starts this year, 7-3, good ERA. Lifetime with Cervelli, 9-12 with a 4.50. And this year with Cervelli, 0-2, 5.40 in 2 starts. And Russell Martin is behind the plate tonight for A.J. Burnett. A.J. Burnett's going to face a Rocky team that's had its ups and downs. What exactly is this team about? John Flaherty and I will come back and break it down on segment 2 on Yes. Yankees against the Rockies should be an interesting matchup, and really, Yankee fans don't know that much about the Rockies, so why don't you tell us, John?
Well, the Rockies are a 500 ball club coming in, 37-37. Take a look at our Dunkin' Donuts team scouting report. Their season has been up, down, and up again. A good month of April, terrible May. June has been pretty good, but they need last year's Ubaldo Jimenez. Won 15 games the first half, 19 overall, and maybe a little more pop through the lineup. Gonzalez and Tulowitzki doing their job. They need some other guys to contribute.
That was the team scouting report brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Here's some of the pop that they would like throughout their lineup. You got Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop, 274, 13 homers and 49 runs batted in. And the man they call Cargo, Carlos Gonzalez, 281, 10 home runs and 43 runs batted in. We'll see how they do 3 games here in the Bronx. The boys are back in town. They hit the road for 6 games. They won 4 of them. Now back home in the Bronx. Lineups. First pitch baseball coming up next, right here on Yes. Brought to you in part by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. By Grey Goose, the world's best tasting vodka. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. That ball's about to be picked up by A.J. Burnett in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, timed it beautifully. And A.J.'s ready to take his warm-ups, and we're going to give you the Rockies starting lineup that he's going to face. And it's presented by our good friends at Avis. The Rockies are 37 and 37. They lead off their center fielder, Carlos Gonzalez. Chris Nelson at second base will bat second. Todd Helton at first hits third. Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop, will clean up, batting fifth, and DHing former Yankee Jason Giambi. Seth Smith in right field hits sixth. Batting seventh, playing third base, Ty Wigginton. Charlie Blackmon is at left field. He'll bat eighth. Batting ninth and catching is Chris Iannetta.
That starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies going to face right-hander A.J. Burnett tonight. Take a look at his numbers. Won his 7th game, his last outing against the Cubs. An ERA just over 4. Only 76 hits and 93 in the third innings. Take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. He has consistent numbers all the way through this year. Actually, 11 of his 15 starts has given up 3 earned runs or less. And he had 8 strikeouts his last outing. That ties a season high for A.J. And he has 4 starts against the Rockies in his career, 2-2 with an impressive 2.40 ERA.
Let's check out the Yankee defense behind A.J. Burnett, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. It's the usual suspects. A good defense the Yankees put out there. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. That's in the outfield. In the infield, A-Rod, Nunez, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Russell Martin is behind the plate. And on the mound is Alan James Burnett. There he is, Jason Giambi, 40 years old, and he's essentially a pinch hitter for the Rockies, but looking forward to these 3 games here in New York as he will get a chance to return to his DH spot, and he was thrilled to be here.
Oh, he's excited today. A lot of media in the clubhouse waiting to see Jason. And you know what? This will be a fun couple of days for him. Get some consistent at-bats here as a DH in the American League Stadium. He's been swinging the bat well lately.
Got some gray in the beard, showing all of his 40 years, but he says he feels good and he's thrilled to be a leader on this Rocky team. We'll talk more about him as we move along. So Carlos Gonzalez comes in with a .281 batting average, 10 homers and 43 runs batted in. He's ready. So is A.J. Burnett. And let's do it here in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Broken bat, fly ball, left center, giving chase is Gardner. He'll make the play for the first time. A bit of a lawn dart. Dangerous.
Well, Gonzalez first pitch swinging, bat shatters. A lot of speed in center field and left field. Brett Gardner takes over, makes the easy play.
AJ 7-5, 4.05 through 15 starts last year. He was 6-6 with a 4.83. And June was his terrible month as Chris Nelson digs in. There's a strike. Last June, AJ was 0-5 with 11.35 ERA. That's when it all fell apart for him. This June, 2-2 with a 4.21.
I mean, you look at AJ's numbers throughout the whole season. He's been very consistent. Had a couple of tough games in there. Every starting pitcher will.
Last two starts for AJ, pretty good against Cleveland. 2 outs into the 8th inning, 5 hits, 1 run, and then we showed you the one against the Cubs. 8 strikeouts in each. The 0-2 outside. AJ consistently with that fastball, 92, 93, and he holds it steady throughout this entire game. But the question with AJ is always command. He's going to throw strikes. Is his breaking ball going to be on? Swing and a miss. Nelson down on strikes. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 67 degrees, 81% humidity, not much wind, and the forecast unfortunately is for some scattered thunderstorms.
67 degrees. It doesn't feel like summertime. Summer vacation today for a lot of kids in the tri-state area. Not a great way to start it off.
There's a veteran, Todd Helton. Good numbers so far this year. Grounded foul. So you got all 3 kids home now for the rest of the summer.
For the rest of the summer. They actually went into school today for an hour. What does that do?
What is it about?
Well, Logan, my youngest, found out his 4th grade teacher, so he's all excited about that. But the other 2 in middle school, I mean, an hour. And then I had them from 9 o'clock until I left at 3. Can you sense the joy and excitement in my voice?
I did sense that you were happier to see me than usual. Just underway here at the stadium, the Rockies and the Yankees. The 1-1. It's high, 2-1.
Helton is healthy this year and swinging the bat better. We just saw his numbers, able to move into the number 3 spot. Gonzalez moves up to leadoff. The Rockies offensively picking up the pace a little bit lately.
323 lifetime hitter Helton is. The 2-1. Count 3-1. Look at that. Matt McGann makes a great play. And never ever ruins the count. High fly ball in left center. Granderson and Gardner. Granderson makes the call and the catch. 10 pitch, 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett. Rockies nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. Is by A.J. Burnett. Now it's Ubaldo Jimenez's turn against this Yankee lineup presented by Bank of America. Brett Gardner's in left field leading off. Batting second and playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing third base, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Jorge Posada DHs tonight. Will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Russell Martin. And Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
The Yankee lineup going to face Ubaldo Jimenez. I'm going to have trouble saying that name all night, Michael. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year. They just don't look right. 2-7 in ERA, 4.68, 67 strikeouts in 77 innings. We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. He's not the same guy from last year. The velocity has dipped a little bit. Now throwing 91, 92 instead of 96 last year. And the bullpen has not done a great job. An ERA of 5.87 in his starts. And you can run on him. Runners have been successful 9 out of 10 times in the last 9 in a row.
So he really needs to keep Gardner off the bases, and he deals to the Yankee leadoff batter. Pitches outside. Home plate umpire is Ed Hickox. He'll be calling balls and strikes. Gardner on the road trip was 6 for 21. There's a strike. Last 13 games for Brett Gardner, a .409 hitter, 18 for 44. Batting leadoff this year, 15 games, a .238 batting average. First half of last year, people were talking about Bob Gibson and Denny McLain, 15-1. Since then, not too good. So he was 15-1 at the All-Star break last year, and he finished 19-8. So you do the math on that, 4-7 in the second half of the season, and in the 28 starts since the All-Star break last year, 6-14, 4.19.
I had a chance to talk to Jeff Houston today, who does some TV work for the Rockies, and he said the second half of last year he's still throwing the ball well. Velocity was good. Bullpen didn't do a good job. Not a lot of run support, but this year he said the stuff is definitely different. The velocity is down, and that makes a split finger not as effective. See how he does tonight.
That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, so we were told to look out for that.
Yeah.
Early on, he's at that number. He's been much better on the road this year, startlingly better. 4.8 runs per game fewer on the road. Grounded foul. On the road, opponents hit 127 against him, far and away the best average for any pitcher in the major leagues. Second best batting average against is 172 for Justin Verlander. Payoff. Grounded right back to Jimenez. That was ticketed for center field, but a nice play. One away. Let's check out the Rockies defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Blackman, Gonzalez, and Smith. That's left to right in the outfield. In the infield, Wigginton, Tulowitzki, Nelson, and Helton third to first. Chris Iannetta is behind the plate, and Jimenez is on the mound.
Well, he wanted to keep Brett Gardner off the bases because of the running game, and he does a nice job fielding his position. A little sidearm toss across to Todd Helton.
Curtis Granderson takes low. Granderson did not have that great of a road trip. Actually struggled 4 for 21. Still having a very good year. And loves hitting here at Yankee Stadium. So a couple of series to get fat with that. You got the Rockies and then Milwaukee coming in, the 2-0. Count 3-0. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. There's a strike, just clipped the outside corner. Yankees come in at 43-30. Since May 17th, they have a 23-11 record. But a strange statistical blip for them. Popped up. Wiggins in a long run. Iannetta gives it a look, but it's in the stands. play there. That's outstanding. Pitch is low, and Granderson walks. Well, here's the statistical blip, John. It's hard to explain because the Yankees are right there and neck with the Red Sox and East. They're 12-13 in series openers. So they win a lot of series because they're so far over 500, but they put themselves behind the 8 ball by losing the first game a lot. And here at home, they're 6-7 in series openers. And that's especially tough in 4-game sets.
You think back to Chicago, they lost that opening game against Doug Davis, who threw a great game against the Yankees, came back to win the final 2 and ended up with a nice road trip, 4-2.
We told you that it's somewhat easy to run on Jimenez. 9 of 10 have been successful. They caught the first one this year, but 9 in a row since.
Be interested to see how quick he is towards home plate. Iannetta behind the plate, a reputation as a good thrower.
Teixeira struggled a bit on the road trip. 4 hits in 21 at bats. And his average is at 246. Now the Rockies don't shift the way most teams shift on Teixeira from the left side. They have both infielders on the left side of the infield, and a lot of the middle is open for Teixeira. The second baseman Nelson shades in the hole, the first base hole. 1-1. 2-1.
Watching Jimenez coming down the hill, he looks pretty quick towards home plate. Looks like he's making a conscious effort to be a little bit quicker. When you watch his stuff now, Michael, I mean, what, 93 with a little bit of movement there. Doesn't look as intimidating as we remember last year in that first half. You don't get a chance to see him that often. You see him on the highlights and just dominated the National League the first half. Sinking fastball, slider, split finger, an occasional curve and a change, but it's pretty much sink or split.
Count 3-1.
Like a lot of pitchers who have been struggling, he's going to the off-speed pitches a little bit more than he did when he was dominant with that good fastball. There, a 2-1 slider to Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira works a walk. So 2 straight walks by Jimenez. Puts runners on first and second for A-Rod. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Alex Rodriguez 9 for 16 on the road trip. And over a longer stretch, 17 for 42. His last at bat in Cincinnati was such an eye-opener. It was against Nick Massett. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and he just crushed it to left center field for an RBI double. I mean, you can't hit a ball harder than that. And it was not overpowering to him at all. 96, 97, you think he'd get by him, but he was ready. Like that. Hot shot down the left field line. That'll go into the corner. Granderson scores. Playing it out there is Blackman. Teixeira's going to hold it third. And it's an RBI double for Alex Rodriguez. Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, Alex Rodriguez was ready for that first pitch sinker. It's middle in. He does a great job of pulling his hands in, keeping it fair. Curtis Granderson is going to score easily, and Mark Teixeira actually had a chance to score as Blackman had trouble in the corner getting a handle on this. Rob Thompson, the third base coach, waved him in, but he wasn't able to see it. A nice swing by Alex, good extension. and able to keep that ball fair down the line. Here you're going to see Blackman having some trouble.
For Alex, his 46 run batted in. Yep, there's one out. And the Rockies will play the infield back for Robinson Cano. Cano has an 11-game hitting streak. Didn't start the second game with a day-night doubleheader on Wednesday. Came in and got a hit a second time up. He came in as a pinch hitter. So he is 1 under 300, 299. Line drive, caught there by Nelson. And a double play. Alex strayed too far off the bag and was doubled up by Nelson on a good throw to Tulowitzki. Yankees get a run on one hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We played one at the stadium. Yankees lead the Rockies 1-0 right here on Yes. Second base, let's take a look at it on the IOTV HD Super Shot. Well, they got him. A couple of inches.
Well, Alex can be disappointed. You're supposed to freeze on a line drive. Took a couple of steps and got caught.
RBI double for him as it gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead. He drives in a run in his 4th straight game. That'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki. He wears number 2 to honor his idol, Derek Jeter. You see his numbers there. Tulowitzki, 274, 13 home runs, and 49 runs batted in. And a lot of the damage that he has up on his line, as he pops that one up, came at Citi Field when he was 10 for 16, 4 homers, and 8 ribbies against the Mets. Now Jason Giambi will come up. Let's listen.
Batting 5th in the order, the designated hitter, number 23, Jason Giambi.
Nice warm hand. Before the game, the bleacher creatures actually had Giambi as part of the roll call, and he came up on the top step of the dugout, tipped his cap. Giambi takes outside. Giambi, 7 years with the Yankees. Hit .260, 404 on base percentage, 209 home runs, and 3 All-Star games. Now in the Yankee universe, you measure success in terms of championships, and when Jason was here, they didn't win a championship, and the year after he left, they actually did win in 2009, and asked him if that was a big disappointment for him, and he said, no, I actually they were rooting for the guys a lot. I love them, and I want them to do well. He said, that one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. goes. Oh, did he crush that? See ya. Into the bleachers. It's a tie game. John, that's one of the longest home runs I've ever seen.
Well, Jason Giambi, we mentioned it, has been swinging the bat a whole lot better lately, and he's going to get some consistent at-bats this weekend. It's in a fastball count. He gets a fastball. He does not miss it. Interesting, the reaction from the crowd after the home run. Couple of boos, a lot of applause. And a bat flip, Yankee fans remember that. When he centers one, it goes a long way. Tie ball game.
Now, he did admit that, he would have liked to have been on that 2019. He said it didn't work out. I loved it here. I loved the city. I loved the fans. I loved everything about my time here. Seth Smith pops it up. Alex Rodriguez puts it away for the second.
You know what, Michael, and I don't, you talk maybe on your radio show, we get another look at the home run. I mean, some extension on a fastball. Nick Swisher does not even move. That goes a long way. But Jason had such a busy day today with the media and saying hello to everybody. And, he's the same guy today as he was when he played here. He's just very personable, relates to the fans, relates to everybody around the stadium.
Never big times anybody,
Never,
John.
never.
Always was great with the media here. Always had time for everybody. And, at the beginning, I think that hurt him because he talked to everybody and really didn't have any time to concentrate. But he had very good years at the beginning. That one is chopped to short. Nunez will gun down Wigginton, and that will do it. But the Rockies tie the score of 1 run on 1 hit. The 1 hit, a very long home run off the bat of Jason Giambi, his 8th of the year. We go to the bottom of the second. If you were starting a franchise tomorrow, which of these Rocky players would you want the most? Here are your choices. Would it be number 1, Carlos Gonzalez, number 2, Ubaldo Jimenez, or number 3, Troy Tulowitzki? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. So Giambi with a home run ties the game at 1. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Nick Swisher will lead off against Jimenez. Pitches high. Down 1-1.
You look up at Nick's numbers now, 235, 8 home runs. I mean, he's got a long way to go to get back to last year after a slow start. Starting to pick it up a little bit lately. Did a nice job in that leadoff spot, huh, Michael, on that trip?
They switched Nick and Gardner, righties and lefties. It's a good spot. So far in June, Swisher hitting .292 with a .435 on base percentage. 5 home runs and 15 ribbies, but he had really dug himself quite a hole. And that's why he's just at 235 right now.
Well, there we see a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and you talk to people around the Rockies, they say last year he lived at 96. Now he'll show it to you every now and again. Velocity early on, pretty much 93. But some good movement.
3-2. Hot shot up the middle, base hit. Turned the 95-mile-an-hour fastball around. Swisher with a leadoff single.
Well, it's a sinking fastball that's supposed to move down and away, and it stays up, and Nick Swisher does what he's supposed to do, drive it right back up the middle. And that batting average continuing to climb.
Here's Posada, 314 hitter over his last 30 games. He was arguably one of baseball's hottest hitters when the Yankees went on their recently completed road trip. But unfortunately for him, it was a trip through 2 National League cities, so the Yankees didn't have a DH. He pinch hit in some games, started in the first game of the doubleheader on Wednesday, but he only had 5 at-bats in the 6 games, so let's see if he can return to being as hot as he was. Last 14, 425, a home run, and 6 runs batted in.
Well, obviously, when you have those numbers in his last 14 games, you're going to be in a good mood. Jorge around the batting cage today as happy as I had seen him all year. Obviously, the batting average improving. The operation with his son went well. Looking forward to a big second half. Nice block there by Iannetta. Holds Nick Swisher to first base. And Iannetta, a guy who's got a reputation as being a very solid catch and throw guy with some pop, some right-handed power. That is just textbook right there. And Jorge Posada up at the plate. The possibility of a double play always in order. A nice job by the catcher keeping Nick Swisher at first.
Swing and a miss, and Posada down on strikes.
He throws a changeup and a split finger fastball. This looks like the split. It goes straight down. Posada swings right over the top.
Russell Martin fouls one back. Right into our booth. Martin has decent numbers against Jimenez. 8 for 25. That's 320. On the road trip, Russell was 3 for 17.
And I talked to Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, about Martin today, and he said he's finally getting back to the place where he's 100% healthy. Another good block there. Covered a lot of territory to his right. Martin and Iannetta tonight probably will put on a display on how to block a baseball. 2 of the best in the game. Watch how much ground Iannetta covers out here.
Ground ball up the middle, through for a base hit. Swisher will stop at second.
Well, Kevin Long saying Martin's swings are starting to come around, a little bit more bat speed. Looks like he's getting healthy again. And the numbers against Jimenez continue to be impressive. Right back up the middle, another base hit.
That's going to bring up Eduardo Nunez. Nunez 5 for 20 on the road trip. 241, 2 homers, and 11 runs batted in.
Michael, it's always interesting to watch a young kid who gets an opportunity to play every day like Nunez now is getting with Derek being hurt. And can he continue this hot hitting? What, 290 over his last 9 games? Those advanced scouts are out watching every at bat. You start to pick up on some weaknesses and doing a good job with runners in scoring position. We'll see if he can keep it going.
Big opportunity for him. There was a story in the paper yesterday, I believe, where Brian Cashman, the Yankee GM, was quoted as saying that the Yankees don't have any interest in Jose Reyes, either making a trade for him or signing him as a free agent. He said, we have a shortstop, Derek Jeter. He said, we have another shortstop who would be playing on a lot of teams in the big leagues, and we're set. We are not interested. So that's what they think of Nunez. That one's looped into left field. Tulowitzki runs it down for the second out. Lee Mazzilli and Gene Michael watching the game.
Big weekend here at Yankee Stadium. Old Timers Day on Sunday. Starting to see a lot of familiar faces around the stadium this afternoon.
Gardner. And there's a strike. The 0-1. Soft ground ball to second. Nelson gets the force at second, and that will do it. Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 2 here at the stadium. It's a 1-1 game. On the Lincoln scoreboard, we also head downstairs to our very own Kim Jones. And Kim, there was a lot of news today regarding injuries. Jeter, Colon, Chavez, Soriano. I'm sure you have news on all of them.
That's right, Michael. Derek Jeter is eligible Wednesday to come off the 15-day DL. However, he remains in Tampa getting treatment on that calf strain. He has played long toss, but he has not hit, run, or gone through any defensive drills. So while it might seem unlikely he would be available on Wednesday for the Yankees, Joe Girardi refused to completely rule it out today. He did say as these days go along, a Wednesday return starts to become more remote. In terms of Bartolo Colon, he is eligible on Monday. He won't come off Monday. For one thing, the Yankees don't have a game, but he will have a simulated game in Tampa. Joe Girardi saying that Colon needs to show them he can go 6 innings, field his position, cover first base. Today he did have a bullpen that went well. He threw all of his pitches, but he is not yet to the point where the Yankees are ready to activate him. And when you talk about Eric Chavez and Rafael Soriano, both of whom are on the 60-day DL, not eligible until next month. Chavez has begun baseball activities, including running. He's eligible July 5th. You can't rule that out because it's not till July 5th. Soriano not eligible until after the All-Star break. And finally, Michael, our friend Phil Hughes. It's not only his birthday today, but he's making a start for Double-A Trenton in New Britain. Through 3 innings, he'd given up 1 hit but no earned runs, had walked 1 and struck out a couple. That's the last update I got before I came on to join you. But Phil Hughes getting there. He's not there yet, but he's getting there. He's in Double-A tonight.
Charlie Blackmon just flies out in the center field. That'll go to bring up Chris Iannetta. Pitch outside. Well, previous inning, Kim, we saw Jason Giambi certainly punctuate his return to New York with a long home run, and he seemed like he was just elated to be here.
He really is. He was signing autographs during batting practice, hugging every single person, including people who work at the stadium. The NYPD officer who's in the dugout during games got a big hug from Giambi during batting practice, but he said he's excited to be back. He's staying at his Upper East Side apartment. Someone asked him if he's subletting that apartment. Jason, who's always so gracious, just sort of said, no, we haven't gotten to that point yet. But he loves New York, and he absolutely loves his role on the Rockies. He's a big bat, as we saw in the second inning. He's also a vital pinch hitter for Jim Tracy's team, and he is a mentor for the young players, including the great Troy Tulowitzki, of whom so much is expected. He loves Derek Jeter, and Giambi's the perfect guy to fill Tulowitzki in on what Jeter would do in certain situations or how he would handle being the face of the franchise, which is where the Rocky shortstop is certainly headed.
It's kind of funny, Kim, because Giambi was telling me that Tulowitzki's constantly picking his brain about what would Derek do here, what would Derek do there.
Yep, and he said that Tulowitzki wants to embrace the media part that goes with being the leader of a franchise, the leadership part in the clubhouse, but also getting the big hit and making those intangible plays that we've seen Jeter make in his career. Tulowitzki wants to know how Jeter does it because he wants to do that too, and he's already done some of that in his early career.
Now, Giambi also might be a good source of information for Jorge Posada, because Giambi was an everyday first baseman with the A's and eventually became the everyday DH. I'm sure he has some advice for the Yankee DH.
Yeah, he says that he and Jorge have not really talked about his situation. Listen, Giambi may not want to divulge some of those private conversations, but he does say that what Posada is trying to do is very difficult. He says the more at-bats you get, it becomes easier. Think of it this way. Giambi's in heaven this weekend because he's getting to be, in essence, Jorge Posada. He's the DH for all 3 games. He knows how difficult it would be to be Posada on those interleague trips to National League parks where you do a whole lot of sitting around. Jason Giambi said it took a lot of practice, a lot of knowing what to do between at-bats, and a lot of hard work for him to get to this point where Jim Tracy trusts him so much. And Tracy told me today, Michael, if you're a manager in this game and you've not had the chance to manage Jason Giambi, you're missing out on something. That's really high praise.
Isn't it a little weird, Chris Ionetta's on first base, Kim, that he has actually become an elder statesman? I mean, we knew him here when he was 30, but he's now an elder statesman.
Absolutely, and he says he never thought it would happen for a National League team. That's for darn sure. But he embraces the role. He's always been a terrific guy in the clubhouse. He said today he remains close to Jeter, Posada, and Jabba Chamberlain. Of Jeter, he said they talk often. He said, I wish that I would be here tonight congratulating him on having already gotten hit number 3,000. He says, but I'm rooting for him, and I hope he gets well. He said, Derek Jeter is a champion. He's a guy you want on your team. He said you meet his parents and you know what he's all about, but he was a great friend to me, and Giambi really appreciates that.
Hot shot down the line by Gonzalez. It's a fair ball. It bounces into the seats, and that will move Iannetta to third. A double for Gonzalez. Kim, we thank you, and we'll hear from you later on the post-game show.
Thank you.
So A.J. in a little bit of trouble here, John, with this double by Gonzalez.
You know, he gets ahead in the count 0-2, but does not do a good job with the breaking ball down in the zone. And Gonzalez, who has been swinging a hot bat since moving into that leadoff spot, ground rule double. Iannetta moves all the way to third. Rockies in business here in the third inning.
Here's Chris Nelson. Yankees have the infield back. Pitch is high.
A.J. just overthrew a fastball right there. Really the one that he's overthrown early in this ball game tonight. So Nelson has struck out already. A.J. would love to pick up another strikeout. If not, you trade a ground ball for a run.
Count 2-0.
Back-to-back fastballs, missing location up in the zone. And what A.J. has done a great job this year really is a location on his fastball, keeping it true to the outside corner. His last two fastballs not his best.
Count 3-0. Todd Helton on deck. Giambi after him. Strike. Made it right in it.
Looked like Nelson was taking all the way. I'm sure he won't be taking here. 3-1. He's probably going to get the same pitch with Helton and Giambi and Tulowitzki. Pretty good spot to hit right here for Nelson.
And he walked him. Wasn't even close. So the bases are loaded now for Helton. Now Helton, 37 years old, former #1 draft pick for the Rockies in 1995 out of the University of Tennessee. And Russell Martin goes out and talks with A.J. Burnett. Helton hit a fly ball to center in the first inning. Career with the bases loaded. Helton, a .349 hitter with 5 grand slams.
Well, a guy who's battled a bunch of injuries through his career, some back problems, is healthy this year, and the numbers reflect that. A batting average of .309 with 9 home runs coming in.
High drive, right field. It's a base hit in front of Nick Swisher. 1 run will score. That's Iannetta. Everybody else moves up. RBI single for Todd Helton, and it's 2-1 Rockies.
Well, A.J.'s missed with location on his fastball this inning. Larry Rothschild going to come out and have a little talk about it. A lot of fastballs up in the zone here in the third inning. Todd Helton has made a career of taking care of that high fastball. Drops it right in front of Nick Swisher. Kind of reminds you of the A.J. from last June, where he really struggled and started going side to side, mechanically working underneath the baseball, losing it up in the zone. Larry Rothschild trying to take care of that right now. While we have a little moment, we'll check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report on Troy Tulowitzki. Reminds you of Cal Ripken in that he's a big man, hits a lot of home runs, and a power hitting shortstop. 13 homers, 49 RBIs coming in. That leads all of Major League shortstops. He's been in the Big Apple before this year. He hit 4 home runs in 4 games at Citi Field. A pretty impressive 4-game stretch for Tulowitzki. We'll see what he does here in the Bronx this weekend.
They couldn't get him out, John. He was 10 for 16 against the Mets. And in a huge ballpark, a home run every day. Pitch outside.
Now, I don't know how you feel about it. You see the numbers against the Mets. 625, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. I don't know how you feel about interleague, Michael, but this is the best part for me right here. I mean, a guy like Tulowitzki, you don't get to see him every day in the National League. You get a chance for a weekend here in New York to admire his game.
Tulowitzki 5 for 9 this year with the bases loaded. Now, these are the situations last year when A.J. would let things spiral out of control. This year, he's been able to keep the damage to a minimum. Let's see if he steps up here against a very tough hitter. Breaking ball misses. He wanted that call. The count 2-0.
You know, he doesn't get the call from Ed Hickox, but I like the call by Russell Martin. You go to an off-speed pitch and a fastball count, and it looked like it was down. I think you slow A.J. Burnett down with that curveball. See if you can get him back in his rhythm. Another dangerous count right here, 2-0 with the bases loaded.
Grounded to A-Rod. Let's see if they turn two. There's one on to first. It's a double play. So Burnett keeps the damage to a minimum. Gets the cleanup hitter for the Rockies to bang into a 5-4-3 double play. Rockies lead 2-1. We prove that every day.
Well, A.J. Burnett comes up with a big pitch right here. Tulowitzki rolls over Alex Rodriguez. A nice feed to Robinson Cano. The quick turn. Your GE Capital partner play.
Lincoln scoreboard 2-1. And there's a strike.
Watch Jimenez pitch, Michael. You know, young pitchers are always taught, get the ball out of your glove as quickly as possible. It gives your arm some time to catch up. I've never seen a drastic move right there. Really takes that hand out of the glove and fires his arm behind him. It's almost like a snapping motion. Sure adds to his deception. Curtis Granderson or some hitters, when you see this little herky-jerky motion, the ball coming out behind him, makes him effective. He can throw the ball over the plate.
Count 3-2. The 3-2. Foul back. Fouled away. Drilled foul.
Curtis starting to get a little timing on that fastball. Back-to-back fastballs at 95. He's a little late on the first one. A little quick on the second one. We'll see if he can straighten it out here.
And Granderson walks. Second walk for Granderson. Sunday on Yes, don't miss a great Yankees tradition, the 65th annual Old Timers Day special. See your favorite Yanks legends take the field in pinstripes once again, including the return of Bernie Williams, Lou Piniella, and Joe Torre. It's the 65th annual Old Timers Day special, Sunday morning, starting at 11. It's right here on Yes. Always a great day here at the stadium as Teixeira takes a pitch outside.
Well, always a great day for the fans. It was always a fun day for an active player, too, seeing the old timers around mingling in the clubhouse, and then they go out there and play their game. So Bernie Williams around the stadium today. Looks great.
Looks very good. Grounded foul.
See if Curtis Granderson gets the opportunity to get a good jump here. We talked about Jimenez and how you can run on him. Curtis back-to-back walks. Has had a couple of looks at the motion with delivery to throw over to first base. We'll see if it works out for him here.
Count 1-2. Teixeira walked in the first inning. It's 2-1 Rockies, bottom of the third here at the stadium, beginning of a 3-game set. Jim Tracy going through the signs. On it goes. Go to second. Stolen base for Granderson.
Base runners now successful, 10 out of 11 on Jimenez. Curtis gets a real good jump, takes a peek in, and a good throw from Iannetta, just a little bit too late. Curtis with that left hand extending towards second base, gets in there easily. Stolen base number 11 for him.
Driven out to center field. Cargo makes the play. Tagging is Granderson. Here's the throw. Granderson's in there.
Aggressive base running from Curtis Granderson. Gonzalez underneath it, a strong throwing arm. It's just going to be off the line. Wigington trying to come back with the tag, not going to be able to do it. Curtis Granderson knows when a base runner forces the action, sometimes the throws are a little bit wide. Nice aggressive base running.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, a bullet double down the left field line in the first inning to drive in the Yankees' only run. That one is driven out to right field. Smith is there. He'll put it away. Tagging is Granderson. And the throw not nearly in time. It's a sac fly for A-Rod, and the game is tied at 2.
Well, credit that run right there to Curtis Granderson on the aggressive base running, getting from second to third. Makes Alex Rodriguez's at bat that much easier. Just get a ball out over. Easy fly ball to right field. Smith, who does not have an incredibly strong throwing arm from right field, play's not even going to be close. Sac fly for Alex Rodriguez, but I'm sure he appreciates the effort of Curtis Granderson.
There's a strike to Cano. So a walk, a stolen base, moving to third on a fly ball to center, and scoring on a fly ball to right. count 1-2. 11-game hitting streak for Cano, 18 for 44. 10 runs scored during the streak and 8 runs batted in. He lined into a double play in the first inning. Alex Rodriguez was on second. A line drive to second. Alex strayed too far, and Nelson gunned him down at shortstop. Tulowitzki taking the throw. Boy, Iannetta really gets a workout with Jimenez. Not an easy catcher, or not an easy pitcher to catch.
No, he's got to cover a lot of zones. The slider will be down and in. When he misses, got a split finger that'll be down middle or down away. Changeup that goes to the other side, and obviously a sinking fastball. Pretty good velocity.
Count 3-2. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. But the Yankees tie the score on 1 run on no hits. Leading off for the Rockies in the 4th, Jason Giambi. A long home run his first time up in the 2nd. A.J. Burnett against Giambi, round 2, when we go to the 4th. At least 200 home runs in Colorado Rockies history. Who are they? You have any idea, John?
I have an idea about 1, 2, 3.
Really? So we have to come up with one more.
Pretty good idea.
Here's Giambi. Pitch is high. Giambi with a long home run, almost halfway up in the bleachers and right. Solo shot in the 2nd inning.
You look at those numbers, Michael. I mean, you start thinking about how long Jason Giambi could do this. 274, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs. Pinch hitting in the National League. See his numbers with the Yankees, 897 games.
I asked him today, because he has done such a good job pinch hitting, you know, did he try to get a job in the American League as a DH? And he said, I looked around. He said, but I really do like it here. And the young kids, and they look up to me. He goes, I'm kind of a leader here. He loves it. And it's a hard transition, John. I mean, you can imagine. This guy wasn't just an everyday player. He's an MVP. And now you know, when there's no DH in the National League, he might hit twice a week. But he seems like he enjoys himself. It's not about the money. The 3-1, Giambi wants.
Well, I think with every veteran player going to a new situation, and we'll take a look back at Jason Giambi and some of the highlights from his Yankee years. Walk-off grand slam. He's still got the same bat flip. As a veteran player, if you accept your role, as you see the resume, pretty impressive. 17th season, 5-time All-Star. But Jason accepting this pinch hitting role, and I think that's the biggest part. We talked about Eric Chavez coming over here to the Yankees, accepting a backup role. Once you accept it mentally, you're going to be successful.
Pinch hitting is an art, though. I remember former Yankee manager Joe Torre once told me the best everyday player that he ever saw become a very good pinch hitter was Chris Chambliss. When he went to the Atlanta Braves and Joe was the manager there, he said he just adapted to it beautifully. That one is drilled into right center field off the bat of Smith. That ball is going to be off the wall. Giambi will chug into third. Smith is at second with a double, and the Rockies are set up second and third and nobody out.
Well, you can see AJ say you got to get the ball down. It has been a common theme tonight when he's getting hit hard. It's the fastball that's up in the zone. Again, you watch the location. Russell Martin has to reach up in the zone, and Smith takes care of it. AJ lucky this wasn't a 2-run home run to right center field. I mentioned this earlier, Michael. This is kind of what we saw from AJ last year when he starts working side to side and underneath. A lot of fastballs up, and he's not locating on the outer half to a righty. We'll see if he can correct himself.
Here's Ty Wigginton. Swing and a miss. The 0-1. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, said Ed Rapuano.
Wigginton always been a guy who's had some power. 9 home runs on the year, 27 RBIs. He'll just take a nice ground ball right back up the middle.
Count 2-1. Wigginton's been a great utility guy for them, and he has 5 home runs at 5 different positions, so he does a good job. You see his resume. Debuted for the Mets in 2002, signed here as a free agent in the winter last year. Nice solid player, fundamentally sound. That one is chopped slowly to third. That's going to score a run. A-Rod fields and gets Wigginton for the first out. And Giambi scores to give the Rockies a 3-2 lead, and moving to third is Smith.
It was a nice play by Alex Rodriguez. I thought this was trouble all the way, and he comes in, bare hands it, gets a good grip, an underhand throw to Mark Teixeira to get Wigginton by a step. Jason Giambi scores, but a nice play to pick up the out by Alex Rodriguez. Good look on Yesmo, the open hand. Looks like he's got a 3-finger grip, a changeup grip, change it to 2 fingers, and a good throw.
Now the Yankees will bring the infield in for Charlie Blackmon. Count 1-0.
You know, Michael, is a catcher. Russell Martin here. These are the bats I hated when you have a young kid coming up to the plate. You don't know a whole lot about him. You try to watch some video. And here he is in a situation with a runner on third and 1 out. Still trying to get a feel for his swing.
Line drive right at Cano. The vagaries of baseball, you can't hit it harder, but Cano was right there with the infield in.
Well, A.J. Burnett will take it. Comes right at Blackmon and hits a bullet right to Robinson Cano. Sometimes you have to be lucky.
Almost seemed like it was going to knock him down, John. It was hit so hard. The infield could back up now for Chris Iannetta. May 28th of this year, Chris Iannetta became just the second catcher in Rockies history with 6 runs batted in a single game. Who's the other one? It's in the Yankee dugout managing the Yankees, Joe Girardi.
There's been a lot of comparisons to Joe Girardi from Iannetta. I mean, he's a good catch and throw guy, works a staff. It was obviously Joe Girardi's strength in his playing days. I think Iannetta has some more raw power, 9 home runs already this year. Joe Girardi a lot more speed. Let's see what happens right here. 3-0 count. Iannetta. Ball strike ratio not very good for AJ. Will Jim Tracy turn his catcher loose here? 3-0.
He does.
I like it. Why not? A kid's got power, 9 home runs. You might get a fastball right down Broadway. Like it was down and away.
Now it's 3-2. Kim Jones just gives me this information. Phil Hughes' outing is done at Double-A Trenton. 72 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. His 25th birthday today. And the Yankees will continue to monitor him closely. Pitch is high. Also, those that are tweeting from the game say he topped that at 93 miles an hour and was usually about 91.
Yeah, that would have been my question. As you see ball 4 again, another fastball misses up and into a righty. That is not a good sign for AJ. But getting back to Phil Hughes, that's going to be the story, Michael, right? I mean, you talk about whether he's good or bad in these minor league outings. To me, it doesn't really matter. It's more arm strength and velocity.
Here's Carlos Gonzalez. Fly to left and then bounce one into the seats and right for a double in the 3rd. Count 1-0. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The Rockies lead the Yankees 3-2 on an overcast Friday evening here in New York City. Almost fog rolling in around the upper deck. Don't believe that it's rain. It just looks like heavy air. There are thunderstorms in the forecast. This comprehensive telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Now, the one thing they want to look at with Hughes, John, his average fastball velocity in the major leagues last year was 92.6. Before he was put on the DL, this year was 89.3. Those 3 miles per hour are very important. The 2-0. 3-0. This is a labor night for AJ. Nothing's coming easy for him.
And we've seen him this year. He's had some pitches or some innings where it's gotten away from him and he's been able to regroup. See a lot of conversation with Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi in the dugout. It has not been easy for AJ tonight.
There's a strike. Mike Harkey is going to the phone in the bullpen. See if they get anybody up soon. (3-1). Foul back. run will go from first. That's Iannetta. Foul back.
Well, A.J. keeps going with that fastball away. You remember last time Gonzalez got a curveball down and in. He hit the ground rule double down the right field line. It looks like A.J.'s trying to stay away from that pitch. I get the feeling if he throws a good curveball here, Gonzalez has seen so many fastballs he might be able to get a swing and a miss.
Missed inside. Got to load the bases. That's his 5th walk. Brings out Larry Rothschild, and it's the 4th time this year that A.J. has walked 5 in a game. Corey Wade gets up.
It's not good when you only have 2 outs in the 4th inning. You've walked 5 already. Good news for A.J. He's got Nelson, a right-handed hitter, coming up to the plate with 2 outs. You execute this at bat and stay away from Todd Helton coming up in an RBI situation.
Is that mechanics or just trying to boost him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it started off mechanically. Say Jorge Posada talking about the arm angle drop and the fastball up and away to a lefty. But I think the end of that conversation with Larry Rothschild was, hey, you stop it right here. You get this batter right here. You bear down and then we'll go. See if he can execute.
His pitch count is not in bad shape at all at 63. But he has to get Nelson right here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's a strike. Seth Smith at 3rd. Iannetta at 2nd. Gonzalez is at 1st. There's a ground ball to Nunez. He's going to go the short way, and they get the force for the fly ball. So Burnett escapes trouble. 1 run though. 1 hit, and the bases are left loaded. 3-2 Rockies. The question, 4 players have hit at least 200 home runs in Rockies history. Who are they? Galarraga, right? You thinking about him?
No, I would say Larry Walker.
Right.
Vinny Castilla. Todd Helton. And then my last one would be Dante Bichette.
Wow.
The first one I've ever gotten right.
Oh, that is outstanding.
And that wasn't even in the Elias notes, or if it was,
no,
I didn't read it.
It wasn't.
Wow, I'm so proud of myself.
You should be.
It's going to be a great summer.
Just from that?
Just from that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I was wrong with Galarraga, obviously.
It's shocking that you were ever wrong and that you admit it.
I freely admit my mistakes.
Well, Galarraga, he had to be close, didn't he?
I would think. 172. I think he had 399 or 400 overall. This is moments ago as Girardi talking things over with Russell Martin. It's not fair that the catchers get blamed, John.
He's not getting blamed.
Oh, then what's happening? I'm sorry.
That's just a conversation about what's going on, what can we do to get him fixed. Maybe some thoughts from Joe Girardi, some thoughts from Russell Martin. The media is the only one who blame the catchers all the time. You guys are responsible.
Well, don't give me you guys when you're part of us guys now. That's true. Swisher, Posada, and Martin here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-2 Colorado. Payoff. Strike three. And Swisher thought that was too far outside.
Well, we get the opportunity to get another look at it. It's a sinking fastball, and it runs off the plate. Good job by Iannetta framing it, bringing back to home plate. Home plate umpire Ed Hickox makes the call, and it looks like Nick Swisher has a valid argument.
Here's Posada, who struck out in the second inning, hitting .383 in June. Fouls that one away. You know, he was asked in Cincinnati if it makes him feel better after being on the interstate for so long, hitting in the 150s, 160s, that now he's hitting 224 as he comes up now. He goes, yeah, it makes you feel better. He goes, but I'm not a 224 hitter. He says, that doesn't make me feel good. He said, it makes me feel good I'm not hitting in the hundreds, but I look up at that number, I'm a better hitter than that too.
Amazing, though, how that change from 199 to 200 will make you feel a little bit better about yourself. And obviously, Jorge used to more impressive numbers. He's got a long ways to go here.
You know, with the Rockies playing the Yankees, I did some research. Of course you did. And I wanted to see what John Flaherty hit at Coors Field.
It was pretty good.
You know that.
Well, I remember a couple of good games, no home runs though. I think I remember that.
You in 11 games had a .302 average at Coors Field. No home runs, you're right.
It's only 50 points higher than my career average. And that was before the humidor out in Colorado.
Did you like playing there?
You know what? I enjoyed playing there because the outfield was so big and it felt like there was a lot of base hits out there, obviously. But it took something out of me to catch a game there. I didn't realize the altitude, how much tougher it was to catch.
Voting is now open for the 2011 All-Star Game at Phoenix. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Cast your ballot now for your 2011 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. Count 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Martin down on strikes. Best inning yet for Ubaldo Jimenez. 1, 2, 3. 2 strikeouts. We go to the 5th. It's 3-2 Colorado. Cast night at Yankee Stadium on the Acela scoreboard. It's the 3-2 Rockies lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Those little spots on the camera would lead me to believe it might be starting to rain. I hope I'm wrong. It doesn't look promising, let's put it that way. It'll be Todd Helton, Troy Tulowitzki, and Jason Giambi here in the 5th. Ground ball is short. 1 pitch, 1 out. Helton retired.
Just what AJ's looking for after a tough 4th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th. And more importantly, we'll see if he made any corrections during the half inning. Put himself back on track location-wise with that fastball.
Tulowitzki has some contract. In an era when contracts, you kind of get immune to them because they're so big. And he is signed through 2020. He had 3 years left on his deal. And the Rockies, in December, signed him to a 7-year, $134 million extension. So in this decade, they owe him $157.75 million. They wanted to make sure the leader of their team, the face of their franchise, is locked up.
They made sure.
Now, when he was a rookie in 2007, he hit 24 home runs. And that broke Ernie Banks' record for rookie home runs by a shortstop in the National League. The Major League record is held by Nomar, who hit 30 in 1997 as a rookie with the Red Sox. The 2-1. Driven out to right field, deep. Swisher back on the track at the wall. See ya! Home run the other way by Tulowitzki. And the Rockies now lead 4-2.
Well, 14th home run of the season. That leads all major league shortstops. I guess all the talk of the contract, Mike, all the numbers, he just showed us why he's one of the more talented players in the game. And remember back to that weekend at Citi Field, he had a couple of balls to right field that jumped out of that ballpark. And here at Yankee Stadium, a little friendlier to right center field. Home run number 14.
Here's Giambi. Pitch outside. Let's take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. A 1-0.
Good changeup right there from AJ, and a pitch he's kind of gotten away from here in the middle of the season. Drops it out right there to Giambi on a 1-0 count. A good pitch.
Hammer foul.
Michael, you know Tulowitzki at all personally? I mean,
No.
you ever interviewed him, anything
No.
like that? No, and I don't either. But I'll tell you what, an organization makes a commitment like that financially in the length of that contract, it'd probably tell you he's a solid guy in the clubhouse. Obviously, we have seen the production on the field.
So he's got a 5-game home run streak in New York. 4 at City and now 1 here at Yankee Stadium. Giambi, as he did for most of his Yankee career, works the count full. There's a base hit to right field. Nice night for Giambi. 2 for 2 with a walk. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. Here is Seth Smith. He doubled in the 4th inning, extended his modest hitting streak to 4 straight games. 7 for his last 15. And he has 32 extra base hits. Out of 68 hits total.
Good changeup from AJ, starting to break it out here in the 5th inning to Seth Smith. It was actually Eli Manning's backup at Ole Miss, Mike. Just throwing that out there at you.
Grounded, and a nice play there by Teixeira. He goes to second for the force. That's all they get. That was not an easy play for Mark Teixeira. The ball stayed down, and he stayed with it.
It's kind of an in-between hop. You can see Jason Giambi right in front of him. Plays it, spins. A good throw to Nunez at second. Not going to have an opportunity to try to turn a double play, but you're right. An awkward play, an awkward hop. Mark Teixeira takes care of it.
Here's Ty Wigginton. Pitch outside.
Michael, I was thinking last time when Wigginton came up, I mean, he's just such a productive player, and he kind of hangs in the weeds. If you're a catcher going through a lineup, you're thinking about Helton, Tulowitzki, Giambi, and Smith, and then all of a sudden Wigginton comes up there.
Pass the diving A-Rod into left field.
Maybe some productive at-bats and able to play a bunch of defensive positions. Gets a curveball and just a couple of hops right past the diving Alex Rodriguez, and the Rockies extend the inning here with 2 outs.
So first and second. And here's Charlie Blackmon. There's a ground ball to second. Cano is right there, and Blackman's out, and that will do it. But one more run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We're halfway through. Rockies 4, Yankees 2. Now we go back to 1970 in a doubleheader against the Indians. Bobby Mercer hit 4 straight home runs to tie a club record. Bob used to tell me they didn't let him hit the 5th.
The 5th time?
They just pitched around him.
Don't blame him.
Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Ground ball through for a base hit. Eduardo Nunez leads off with a single here in the 5th. We're going to see Bobby's lovely widow, Kay Mercer, for Old Timers Day. She's scheduled to be here. And his granddaughter is singing the national anthem.
Wow, that's great.
Now, you're not playing in the Old Timers Day, right? Because you're up here broadcasting.
I'm going to be up here with you. We'll enjoy the festivities like everybody else.
I definitely put the onus on Bernie today when I saw him. I said, you're not that far from playing. You got to hit one out.
Well, he hasn't retired yet, right? So
not officially, you're right. And I see Todd Helton there, John. You gave me the Seth Smith, Eli Manning connection. Todd Helton was the quarterback at the University of Tennessee, hurt his knee, and was replaced by Peyton Manning.
See, that's just you're being a Tommy Topper right there. You got to top my little nugget with another one.
No,
the hurt knee and drop.
Yours was less known than mine, so I think I didn't do Tommy Topper.
Seth Smith actually never took a snap at Ole Miss because Eli was there and did the job and stayed healthy. You want to keep going? That's all I have.
That's all I got. Probably. That clipboard holding, I mean, you never make a mistake. You're a backup quarterback, and everybody loves you.
Yeah, but your competitive nature has to take over, doesn't it? I mean, you're talking like a guy sitting up here in the booth who was, what, a journalism major, Fordham?
No need to knock that. Yes, communications major, actually.
Communications, which is an outstanding major, by the way.
Gut. It's a gut major.
I mean, you got to want to be out there in the action.
I would agree. But he never lost a game at the University of Mississippi. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he never won one either.
That's true. Slap foul.
can see Brett Gardner kind of taking some awkward swings, and it talks to the movement from Jimenez with that two-seamer. Where the velocity not where it was last year, it still has plenty of movement away, and kind of slapping at the baseball instead of taking that driving swing.
Long set. Too long.
Well, we talked about the running game against Jimenez, and it looks like tonight he's trying to make a conscious effort to be a little quicker to home plate, change up his rhythm. Nunez, a guy with plenty of speed, 8 stolen bases, only been thrown out 3 times.
There he goes. Slap foul. With 2 strikes, Gardner obviously has to protect the plate. Nunez had the base stolen.
Yeah, he had it stolen, and down by 2. Joe Girardi, and Nunez still going to be aggressive off of Jimenez, a guy you can run on. You're right, Michael. A great jump. He would have had this bag easily.
Popped up. Jimenez will win that battle. Tulowitzki for the first out. Here's Curtis Granderson. He has scored both Yankee runs, and each time he was walked.
Kind of been a strange game so far. A.J. Burnett's been in trouble all night, giving up 4 runs in the last 4 innings. The Yankees 1 swing of the bat away from a tie ball game against Jimenez.
I was just informed, John, that it's not Bobby Mercer's granddaughter, it's his niece who's singing the national anthem, so I apologize. There's a strike. Yankees getting a Jimenez pitch count up there at 86 right now in the 5th inning. Count 1-1. Rockies try to lock up their young players. They signed Jimenez to a 4-year deal in January of 09. 4 years, $10 million, which is pretty inexpensive, and they have option years in 13 and 14. So if he begins the road back to being that dominant pitcher, that's certainly a fair contract for the Rockies. Jimenez, a lot like the Reds' Johnny Cueto. When someone would get on base against Cueto, which wasn't often, they'd slow down. All the Reds pitchers, Mike Leake, it was amazing, just slowed the game down to a crawl when anybody got on base. There it goes, pitch out. Throw to second. Got him. They guessed right. A good throw by Iannetta.
Well, everybody gets some credit on this. Jimenez doing a nice job changing up his rhythm. The bench gets some credit calling a pitch out. Iannetta, a strong throw right on the money. A good pitch out from Jimenez, a good throw from Iannetta. Nunez is out for the 4th time this year trying to steal.
Hammered foul. And the 3-2. He walks again. Third walk issued to Granderson. Let's take a look now at tonight's Toyota Text Poll results. Once again, the question was, if you were starting a franchise tomorrow, which of these Rockies players would you want the most? You've been voting at 58-7-7-2, and here's how you voted. Overwhelmingly, you wanted Tulowitzki. I wonder if that poll was taken at the All-Star break last year. If Jimenez would have been the one. There was a breaking ball strike to Teixeira.
Well, you know, we talked about Tulowitzki, and we don't know him personally. And our colleague Jack Curry sent me a text saying that he has actually interviewed Tulowitzki. He said he's all about baseball. That's all he's here for. He doesn't get caught up in anything else. Jack Curry trying to be a little Tommy Topper tonight, too. We didn't know anything about him. He shoots a text. It's what he does in the studio.
He's got that Tommy Topper quality, too. One, 1-2.
Good split finger right there from Jimenez. You can see when he's right, if he had a little more velocity like he did last year, how he can be extremely tough. I mean, the bottom just falling out of that pitch. Mark Teixeira swinging right over the top.
Runner goes. Well, he was almost at second before Iannetta released the throw. So a stolen base, his second of the game for Granderson.
A good jump by Curtis Granderson there. Sometimes as a catcher where you're probably better off not making a throw. That would have been one of them for Chris Iannetta. Rushes it a little bit. Nice play by Tulowitzki coming up and making sure he picks it up on the short hop.
12 stolen base for Granderson. Swing and a miss. Teixeira down on strikes. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the fifth. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. It's an official game on an overcast night in New York. The Rockies lead the Yankees 4-2. And 0 leading 2-4-0. Giambi has a solo home run. He scored 2 runs. Granderson 3 walks, 2 stolen bases, and he scored both Yankee runs. And Tulowitzki went the other way, a solo home run to right center. And that's pretty much the way it's gone down here at the stadium. First game of a 3-game set. 4-2 as we go to the 6th, and Chris Iannetta will lead off. Now, we told you that earlier that Phil Hughes pitched for Double-A Trenton today. Pitched into the 4th inning. Did okay. But Dom Amori of the Hartford Courant tweeting that Phil, after the game, took all of his Trenton Thunder teammates to Outback Steakhouse. You can't go wrong with the bloomin' onion.
What about the bacon cheese fries?
Now I got to watch my figures, so yeah, I stay away from it.
Yeah, the fried onion helps, yeah.
Now that's what Gary Sheffield had done when he rehabbed in Trenton in 2006. Same place. Little Outback. Those are the numbers for Phil Hughes today. 3 1/3, 3 hits.
See, but that was at New Britain.
Right.
I played in New Britain. I don't remember an Outback Steakhouse.
I don't know if that chain existed.
Wow.
When you played there.
That's a shot.
It's not a shot.
It's almost 9 o'clock East Coast time. That's another shot.
3-1. In your last game that you did, which was a week ago at Wrigley, if I recall, because I keep track of this stuff, Singleton took a shot 1 out into the game.
That's true.
All right, so this is 6th inning, 2 hours in.
You feel better about yourself?
Not really. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3, Iannetta down looking.
We'll take a look at this fastball. Comes back to the plate, pretty much middle. Iannetta gets caught sleeping, walked a couple of times in this ball game. See, he catches plenty of plate. That's a big league move by Phil Hughes.
On his 25th birthday. And if I recall correctly, when you go to Outback for birthday, they sing to you too. So maybe he's going to get some of that as well. Dom Amori also tweeted that Hughes was going to need, quote, a few more starts.
Now, Phil Hughes, I'm assuming, went to the Outback Steakhouse with the club.
Yeah.
Shows me something right there. I mean, usually a veteran player or a player will go down into rehab and cater all the food into the clubhouse.
Right.
And then hit the road.
Big league move.
It's a big league move.
Boone Logan will begin to throw. Here's the 1-1. Grounded foul. Carlos Gonzalez's nickname is Cargo. And that type of nicknaming of people really started in Seattle with Dave Niehaus, the late Mariner announcer, who was the first guy to call Alex Rodriguez A-Rod. So now everybody shortens it and kind of morphs it together, and that's how you get Cargo. And that's how you get a strikeout looking. A.J. Burnett looking sharp here in the 6th.
Back-to-back strikeouts, pretty much the same pitch, identical pitch. In off the plate, runs back to the inside corner. A nice catch by Russell Martin. Back-to-back strikeouts for A.J. Burnett, who has labored in this ball game, trying to keep the Yankees in it.
Chris Nelson, big cut. 0-1. Nelson struck out in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd, and wrapped into a 6-4 force in the 4th. He's won for his last 10. Can Burnett strike out the side here in the sixth? Yes, he can, but the ball gets away from Martin, and that will allow Nelson to reach first on the wild pitch.
You can see Martin frustrated going back to the screen. And he has done such a great job behind the plate this year, especially blocking the baseball. And here he tries to pick a curveball in the dirt. It gets away, hits off the heel of his glove, and Nelson is going to be able to get to first base. Nothing more disappointing for a catcher when you know you could make a play and you don't execute.
Well, Burnett has an opportunity to tie a major league record and strike out 4 in an inning. He's the best he's thrown all night. Count 0-1 as Helton swings and misses. And wild pitch is nothing new for A.J. Burnett. He leads the American League with 12. Cal Drabeck been sent down to the minors. He's at 10. Runner goes. There's a strike. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Nelson.
Russell Martin makes a nice throw right here, trying to make up for that ball in the dirt, and he doesn't get the call from second base umpire Brian O'Nora. And Nelson gets a good jump and a good throw. Nunez picks it. We'll see if the hand gets in before the tag. Good
Give us a
pick.
better look.
He's out.
I think he's out. AJ thought he was out. Count 0-2 on Helton. Runner at second. Rockies lead 4-2, top of the sixth. And the pitch. Just stays alive. Burnett with 4 strikeouts, 3 of them this inning. And the 0-2. He swings and misses. And Burnett strikes out 4 in the sixth to tie a major league record. Iannetta went down looking. Gonzalez went down looking. Nelson went down swinging, reached on the wild pitch, and then Helton could not hold up. 4 strikeouts for Burnett. 4-2. Pitch is high to Alex Rodriguez. The 4 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. Many people have struck out 4 in an inning. The last pitcher to do it was Manny Parra of Milwaukee on June 6th of last year. The last American League pitcher to do it earlier in the year was Felix Hernandez of Seattle. That one is hammered in the left center, but right there is Gonzalez for the first out of the 6th. So 1 down. That'll bring up Robinson Cano. Lined into a 4-6 double play in the first. Struck out in the third. Has an 11-game hitting streak working coming into this game. Grounded softly toward first. Helton is there with the second out. Now let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios and Network ahead. Aaron Cook will get the start for the Rockies. 0-2, 4.67. CC Sabathia for the Yanks. 9-4, 3.39. Our coverage begins at noon right here on Yes. First pitch right around 107. Here's Nick Swisher. Swisher's 1 for 2. 7 hits in his last 22 at bats, hitting .237 overall. He singled to center in the second, struck out looking in the fourth, thought the pitch was a little bit too far outside. Jimenez deals. Strike. That's the pitch count breakdown. Obviously his biggest inning was 22 in the third. Off speed is Nick way out in front. Count 1-2.
Jimenez has thrown 118 pitches in a game this year, so he's still got some room to go, and he looks like he's getting comfortable, more comfortable as this game is going on.
Strike 3, Swisher down looking. So he works a 1-2-3-6 inning. And we'll go to the 7th here at the stadium. Jimenez and Burnett, they both pitched okay. It's 4-2 Rockies. McDonald's, Carlos Gonzalez with a double. RBI for Helton. Troy Tulowitzki went the other way with a home run. Jason Giambi 2 for 2. A long home run into the right center field bleachers. 2 runs scored. A double for Smith. An RBI for Wigginton. And then 2 walks and a run scored for Iannetta. That's what the Rockies have done against A.J. Burnett. And it's been like that most of the night. You see the Cadillac scoreboard as the Rockies up 4-2. First game of this 3-game set. Troy Tulowitzki will lead off. 100 pitches for A.J. Burnett. Now they have Boone Logan up in the bullpen, and I always get the feeling even if they get Tulowitzki, the Yankees would be tempted to bring in Logan to face Giambi. Tulowitzki, 7th overall pick in 05, Rookie of the Year runner-up to Ryan Braun. All-Star and Gold Glove last year, great season, 15 home runs, 40 ribbies in September and October, 30 games of last year. He wears number 2 for his idol, Derek Jeter.
Went to Long Beach State. Long Beach State has produced a bunch of good shortstops. Chris Gomez had a nice major league career. Give AJ a little bit of credit in this ball game. It looked like it was going to get away from him in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning.
Great breaking ball. Some players that have gone to Long Beach State.
You know, I mentioned Chris Gomez, and he's not on that list.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. You had to get Giambi on there. Understand that. Jared Weaver.
Fly ball center field. Granderson is there for the first out. And that's it. They are not going to let A.J. Burnett face Giambi. Girardi out of the bullpen, or out of the dugout, calls to the bullpen, so it's going to be the left-hander Boone Logan against Giambi. Giambi 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored, a long home run. A.J. Burnett battled. Didn't have his best stuff, but certainly did not let the game get out of hand. He lost 6 1/3. You can see not too thrilled about being taken out. Celebrate their 27 World Championships with Old Timers Day. Come see your favorite Yankee legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Be sure to arrive early for Old Timers Day as ceremonies begin at 11:30 a.m. with the Rockies-Yankees game to follow. A lot of big names coming back, and as always, a great, great day at Yankee Stadium, so we're looking forward to that.
I assume you're going to be part of the ceremonies on the field?
One of the great honors that I can ever get. It's John Sterling and I will be doing the MC.
Outstanding.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T as Boone Logan takes over. You can see A.J. Burnett was not too thrilled as he walked off the mound, being taken out with just 104 pitches and trailing 4-2. But they want to match up the lefty against the lefty Giambi.
Jason Giambi's never had a problem facing lefties in his career. Has always been able to drive the ball the other way to left center field. Boone Logan, a couple of good sliders back to back. Looks like a little bigger slider than I remember from Boone Logan. He's dropping that arm angle a little bit. Quickly ahead 0-2.
Girardi was really encouraged that he got Votto and Bruce in the game against the Reds on Wednesday. Just missed outside.
It looks like he's dipping his arm a little bit. You see the numbers for AJ. There was a lot of work tonight. 105 pitches, 5 strikeouts, and 5 walks.
You know those 4 strikeouts in the 6 by Burnett, John? First time a Yankee pitcher has ever done that in the history of the franchise. 4 in 1 innings. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Alfonso Marquez. Two. Strike 3. Giambi down looking.
Nice at bat right there by Boone Logan against Jason Giambi. A bunch of sliders, and then he dots a fastball in the outside corner and down. Gets the call. Jason Giambi takes strike 3 and walks back to the dugout.
If you're going to get that call, that's an unhittable pitch, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a pitcher's pitch. I mean, it's off the plate, down and away. Ed Hickok's home plate umpire gives it to Boone Logan.
Seth Smith takes outside the zone. Smith is 1 for 3. Have that double right center in the 4th. Kind of a third of the way up the wall in front of the Yankee bullpen. The 1-1. Good fastball, 1-2.
He's thrown a bunch of good sliders in this inning, and it makes that fastball look even better when he comes back with it after the slider. Still looks to me like he's tucking that right shoulder a little bit, giving him a little bit of deception tonight. Good sliders.
Swing and a miss. Impressive outing right there for Boone Logan. They have to have him come in and get lefties. He's the lone lefty in the bullpen. So the Rockies go down in order at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Rockies lead the Yankees 4-2, but we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
And offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women serving our country, home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Kim at the end of the game on the postgame show. The in-game box score for the Yankees brought to you by McDonald's. Curtis Granderson, 3 walks, 2 runs scored. Alex Rodriguez, a double and 2 ribbies. And that's pretty much the Yankee offense. There are some other hits in there, but the Yankees have not been able to do much with Ubaldo Jimenez. Cadillac scoreboard at 4-2. Favor the Rockies. Now, we just saw Boone Logan and how well he pitched coming in relief. And sometimes coaches could say what they want to say. And people you know could say what they want to say. As Posada trickles one off the glove of Nelson, and he will beat it out. And they're going to give Nelson an error, I think. Yep.
Well, Nelson goes to his left. All he has to do, you would think, is knock this down and come up with it the way Jorge Posada runs, but he doesn't get a handle on the ball. Jorge Posada will be safe on an error here to lead off the 7th inning.
Anyway, to finish the point about Logan, he came in a game against the Reds, and his first pitch he hit Joey Votto in the bat. And afterward in the clubhouse, A-Rod met with him and said, you got to have a plan. You can't just go in there and throw. You got to have a plan when you come out on the mound. And since then, he's retired all 4 batters he faced with 2 strikeouts. Sometimes coming from a teammate, it means a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's probably a little wake-up call, and also it just looked to me like he was hiding the ball a little bit better tonight. I don't know if there's a little change mechanically with his right shoulder. You can tell the lefty's having a tough time picking up that slider.
Jack Curry has a story about that little team meeting between 2 teammates, and that's on YesNetwork.com if you want to read more about it. But Alex did talk to him and said, you can't go out there without thinking. You got to say, this is what I'm going to do. This is the first pitch. That's where I'm going to go with it. Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach for the Rockies, has a word with Jimenez. And it's broken up by Ed Hickox.
Well, Michael, where we have a minute here, I want to congratulate my niece, Olivia Urizo, tonight. Plays a little travel softball, struck out 14 and threw a 1-hitter.
Wow.
That is total domination by Olivia Urizo tonight. Nice job. Won their district tournament first round.
Very nice. High fly ball, right field. One away as Martin is retired.
It's got to feel good as a pitching coach, Bob Apodaca. You come out there, you have a little conversation. Next pitch, a little weak fly ball to right field. Get your pitcher right back on track. 109 pitches for Jimenez. I believe his night is coming to a close shortly. That's a high pitch count for him.
Strike, 1-1. Nunez 1 for 2, popped to short, and then single to left. Bottom of the 7th inning here at the stadium. Ties him up with that pitch. Count 1-2.
Couple of sliders, and then he just came back with a split finger down and in to Nunez. Talked about it all night. Ball moving all over the plate from Jimenez.
Popped up. Tulowitzki.
with the second out.
Well, you could vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. All you have to do is text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Jason Giambi, number 2, Troy Tulowitzki, number 3, Ubaldo Jimenez, and number 4, Curtis Granderson. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates certainly apply. So 2 down, and the Yankees so far have not taken advantage of the E4 that allowed Posada to reach the lead off the inning. Jimenez at 114 pitches, trying to up his record to 3-7.
Mentioned earlier, he's thrown 118 pitches in a game this year.
Jimenez also going old school the way he wears his socks with the stirrups, and you never see that anymore. Usually solid blue. Matt Reynolds and Rafael Betancourt.
All right, when you played Little League, did you wear your pants up that high? This is how I would picture you looking in a uniform.
Absolutely not.
No, you went all the way down?
Not like they are now, but it was, let's say, here.
Mid-calf?
The way Bobby Mercer wore it.
Yeah, you got his little number on his sock. You gotta cover that, don't you?
You would think.
Wait a second. Does he have the foul ball there? Does he have his socks actually out over his pants?
It looks like he does, yeah.
Huh.
Did you ever wear the stirrups like that, John?
I did.
I would love to see players do that again.
I'll tell you what, though, these socks are just so much more comfortable.
Right.
It's the one all color, all blue.
That's the way. I mean, that is big league. That's Bobby Mercer classic stirrups.
When I was in high school, I had this big, that one stirrup there, but it was just one stripe all the way up the side.
One sock, right? With the stripe on the side. Foul back.
Yeah, it was a little Oakland A's look, too.
Yeah.
We had the gold sanitary sock underneath.
Can you bring that picture in tomorrow so we can all see?
Sure. Yeah, I'll search for that tonight, first thing when I get home.
Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour on what could be his last pitch of the night. So Jimenez with an impressive 7-inning stint. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left. Let's go to the 8th. 4-2 Rockies. music and computer world, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Could that poster of Nick actually been true? Did he actually wear his hair in pigtails when he was with the A's?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
That wouldn't work here. A little more close cropped as a Yankee. Just like that he wore. Little Pippi Longstockings look. Here's Ty Wigginton. Boone Logan's still in there. High fly ball, center field. One out. Anderson puts it away. Hyundai scoreboard, it's 4-2 Rockies. Swisher back with the goodness. And his dad Steve cut the hair off for charity. Good move by Dad. And a strike to Charlie Blackmon. Charlie's 0 for 3. And another strike for Logan. He's really dealing and throwing strikes. Eighth inning. Rockies with a run in the second, third, fourth, and fifth. Little picket fence from the second through the fifth. There's a ground ball. Right side. Cano gets it to Teixeira. 2 away. Yankees scored their runs in the first and the third. That's where we stand.
Boone Logan has it all going on tonight. Good fastball, quality slider, and you can tell by the swings against him, Rocky's not picking the baseball up out of his hand. Luis Ayala getting loose. Looks like he's ready in the Yankee pen.
Iannetta 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Fouled away. The 0-1. All the way to the backstop. 1-1.
Like a changeup from Boone Logan. I'm not used to seeing that. Not a bad spot to try it. Obviously misses badly with it.
If he gets this out, it'll be an inning and 2/3 for Logan, and that would match his longest outing of the year. The 2-1. 2-2. The 2-2. 3-2. The pitch. Missed outside, so Iannetta walks for the 3rd time tonight. Joe Girardi looks like he's about to warm up. Took the warm-up off. He's going to let Logan stay in there and face the lefty Cargo. Carlos Gonzalez 1 for 3 with a walk. His one hit a double. That one is hammered to right field. Nick Swisher's going to have to play it one hop up against the wall. Iannetta rounds third. The throw comes into Cano. They'll stop Iannetta at third. It's a double for Gonzalez. Second and third with 2 outs.
Well, you mentioned this would be the longest outing for Boone Logan. You wonder if fatigue is a factor as Joe Girardi's going to make a little pitching change. The worst slider that Logan has thrown tonight right there to Gonzalez.
Chris Nelson coming up. It's going to be Luis Ayala. So Boone Logan, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Second and third, 2 outs. T. So Luis Ayala, who with all the injuries in the bullpen has ascended to a much more important role. He'll appear in his 20th game. You see his numbers, 20 hits in 23 innings, 18 strikeouts. And Johnny, Yankees want to come back. It's a very big spot right here.
No, it's a huge spot for Ayala, who you can see the numbers are very impressive. Only 8 walks. The big spot here with Nelson coming up. Struggling a little bit tonight. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball.
So Iannetta at third. Gonzalez is at second after a second double. There are 2 outs here at the top of the 8th inning, and the Rockies trying to build on a 4-2 lead. Chris Nelson 0 for 3 and walked. Ayala deals. Pitch. Ayala throws about 92, 93. It's got good stuff.
He's got that short arm swing, you know, where his arm doesn't fully extend behind him and it sneaks up on some hitters at 92. But you're Nelson, a young hitter. You know that Ayala is in there to get you out. He's going to challenge you with Helton on deck.
And a strike. Ayala has stranded 9 of the 11 runners that he's inherited this year.
We'll take a look at the arm swing. I mean, it doesn't fully extend behind him. It's just short. It just kind of pops the ball at home plate. Slider split, fastball.
Chopped slowly to Nunez. He charges, fires, got him. Nice play coming in by Eduardo Nunez as Ayala works out of trouble. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees down by 2. Get a recap of this matchup and the latest from around the rest of the league. Plus, Joe Girardi's post-game comments and Kimberly Jones with the reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up later on the post-game, and it's only on Yes. New pitcher, Matt Reynolds takes over, and you see this will be his 35th game. 3.57 ERA. Good numbers. 27 strikeouts in 22 2/3 innings.
Well, interesting, too. Lefties hitting .213 against Reynolds, and righties hitting .212. It does a good job against both sides of the plate.
Well, Granderson reached 3 times against Jimenez with 3 walks. And there's a strike. So Jimenez goes 7 innings and allows 4 hits and just those 2 runs. Monday scoreboard 4-2 Rockies. 1-1.
Tell you what, Jimenez got better as this game went on. The Yankees had some opportunities early on. Alex Rodriguez doubled off on a line drive. He seemed to get in the middle of the ball game and find his groove.
He has calmed down against lefties. Although overall his numbers are very good with the 9 home runs against left-handers.
See Reynolds standing on that first base side of the mound. Tough to pick up the ball for Curtis Granderson.
Fouled away. Crowd of 46,028 here on an overcast Friday night in New York City. Bottom of the 7th inning in Pittsburgh. The Pirates lead the Red Sox 3-1. That one is drilled to right field. Smith is there, and he'll put it away for the first out. Probably closer toward the end of the bat than right on the barrel.
Yeah, I think when Curtis is going right against left-handed pitching, though, that's a ball that he can hammer. Pretty good swing, just pulled off just a little bit off the end of the bat. Maybe a little more down and away than I thought. Kind of extended out for it. Didn't hit it on the sweet spot.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Closer for the Rockies is Houston Street. You might remember him with the A's. He's done a nice job. He's a thrill a minute, though. It's a high wire act. Should be interesting to see if we see him in the 9th. Grounded foul. Hard throwing Matt Lindstrom. That one is drilled deep to left field. Backing up is Blackman. He puts it away for the second out. So an 0 for 3 night with a walk for Teixeira, who's now 4 for his last 24. And here's Alex Rodriguez. He's driven in both Yankee runs, a bullet double inside 3rd in the 1st, and a sac fly to right field in the 3rd, and a fly ball to center in the 6th. Count 1-1.
Reynolds working fast, too. He gets a sign, he delivers the pitch.
Count 2-1. Count 3-1. And a walk would bring up Cano as a tying run. Reynolds, one of 2 lefties in the bullpen for Jim Tracy. They carry 5 right-handers. Count 3-2.
respect. Reynolds right there coming right at Alex Rodriguez with a 2-run lead, 2 outs. Challenged him with a fastball in the outer half. Alex, a good swing, but fouled it off. See if he does the same thing here, 3-2.
Grounded softly toward third. Barehanded by Wigginton. And a beautiful play to get Alex Rodriguez for the final out of the 8th. That was not an easy play for Wigginton, but he makes it beautifully and fires across the diamond to get A-Rod for the final out. We go to the 9th. It's a 4-2, a Rockies lead. By Blimpie, as CC Sabathia takes us back home to California to meet his mother and see the fields where he first learned to play ball. Plus, more training tips with Mark Teixeira. Yankees on deck tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Well, we go to the 9th inning as the Yankees try to hold it right here as 4-2 Rockies lead. Todd Helton will start it off against Luis Ayala. Came on to get the final out of the 8th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Helton with an RBI single in the 3rd. In the 1st, he flied out to center. In the 5th, he grounded to short, struck out in the 6th. And the right-hander deals. You always wonder when you look at Helton's .323 lifetime batting average and his splits are so decidedly in favor of Coors Field. Was it he a creation of that altitude? And you actually call games where he was hit and you were sitting behind the plate. What do you think, John? How much of his success was the altitude?
Well, I think obviously Coors Field was a great place to hit before this humidor. Actually, the stats now have kind of evened it out there. But I also mentioned it's a huge outfield, and when you're standing in that batter's box, I mean, you felt like you could get hits all over. You didn't have to hit the ball well because the outfielders had to play so deep. So the batting average for Helton, I think, inflated playing in that ballpark, and power numbers maybe earlier, not as much lately.
And for those that might wonder, well, why did that play so deep? Well, before the humidor, balls travel farther in that kind of a situation, so they had to put the outfield fences way out, and you see the drop in power numbers for Helton. You wonder now, John, with the humidor in play, which brings it closer to a sea level game, if they would ever move in the fences, so the outfield wouldn't be as expansive.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a frustrating place trying to catch a game and work a pitching staff because you knew you were going to give up a lot of cheap hits because of how deep the outfielders had to play. And it was the hits that bothered you more than the home runs.
The 2-2. We should explain what the humidor is, and what it does is, I guess it takes some of the moisture out and it evens up. It makes a place with a high altitude play like it's a sea level place, if that makes sense.
Well, they put the baseballs in there, right?
Right, they put the baseballs in there. Well, at home, Helton hit .354 lifetime with 209 home runs. On the road, 292, 133.
Still pretty good numbers on the road.
Yep.
Batting average just under 300.
But if you want to, look at it objectively, home he's a Hall of Famer. Road, it kind of takes him away from that. He's still a very, very good player, but .354 at home. The 2-2. Tap slowly to Alex. Rodriguez across the diamond, one away.
You know what doesn't get talked about a lot when you play at Coors Field, and I don't know if it changes with this humidor thing, but a lot of times we talk in meetings with our pitchers, stay away from your breaking ball and throw more change-ups and sinkers. And you see tonight, Jimenez pitching for the Rockies, a sinker ball pitcher. You can have some success in Colorado.
Now, why would you have him stay away from the break balls? It just didn't break that much?
It didn't have that bite on it. They would throw it like they're used to pitching at sea level, and it would just hang. It would spin. It wouldn't have that good bite. And they give up some home runs on some curveball sliders.
Recording everything. Nice shot of Tulowitzki. Home run for Tulowitzki in the fifth inning. Grounded to third, deep. Rodriguez, the long throw. 2 outs here in the ninth.
Again, Ayala coming in and doing a nice job as Houston Street, the closer for the Rockies, getting ready.
That's going to bring up Giambi. He has certainly had a nice homecoming. Second time back to the stadium, once as an Oakland A, and now here with the Rockies. He's 2 for 3 with a walk, and now he's 3 for 4 with a walk. Also a strikeout thrown in there.
We mentioned earlier he has been swinging the bat well coming in, and now he's going to get some consistent at bats DHing, taking advantage. 3 hits with a pinch runner. His night is over.
Eric Young Jr. is on a pinch run for Giambi. No hotel for Giambi when he comes to New York. Kim Jones reported that he'll be staying in his Upper East Side apartment, which he kept, and he bought for 7 years here with the Yankees. Kind of a home away from home, and they picked him off. Oh! Didn't get the tag down in time. Young was definitely going. But Ed Rapuano said safe, and Teixeira doesn't argue.
Leaning towards second, a good throw is going to get him easily, and it was a good throw, and just beats it. Look at the eyes light up from Ed Rapuano when he makes that call. Good call.
Must be a helpless, hopeless feeling. Pinch runner come in and you feel you're about to get picked off. Eric Young Jr. is 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts. If my memory serves me correct, John, I think that Eric Young's dad hit the first home run at Coors Field.
Sounds right.
Not at Coors Field, in the old Mile High Stadium. First home run, I believe, for the Rockies, because they played at Mile High before they opened Coors. Eric Young, the guy who hit the home run, the first home run for the Rockies, is the first base coach for the Diamondbacks. And it was a leadoff home run. How about that? Starting the franchise that way. Count 2-1 on Smith.
Eric Young, a football player and a baseball player at Rutgers, if I remember correctly. Be a nice feeling now your son playing in the big leagues.
High pop-up, left field. Gardner will put it away, and that's going to do it. No runs a hit, one man left. Last legs coming up for the Yankees. Cano, Swisher, Posada against Houston Street. To get dunked, go to getdunkd.com. By the New York Lottery. When you scratch Lottery's instant games, good things happen in an instant, so be ready. And by the new definition of world class, the 2011 Buick LaCrosse. Well, it comes down to the bottom of the ninth inning for the Yankees. They trail by 2, and they're going to come back. They're going to come back against the Rockies closer, Houston Street. Pretty good numbers, about a hit per inning, about a strikeout per inning. Does not walk many batters, but he does dance the tightrope. He's not a clean closer like Mariano Rivera. People will get on, and they will threaten, but he usually gets the final out before they score too many runs. We'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, 22 saves, but if you're in that Yankee dugout, you feel like you're going to have an opportunity, at least with one swing of the bat, to either tie this game up or win it.
In his career against the Yankees, 12 games, 13 innings, a 0.69 ERA, giving up just 5 hits. And there's a strike. 22 saves for Houston Street, and he leads the Giants' Brian Wilson, who has 21. They're 6 tied with 20. The 0-1. 1-1. Mariano Rivera has 19 for the Yanks.
Robinson Cano with a hitting streak on the line here.
11 games coming in. He's 0 for 3.
Robinson Cano 1 for 5 off of Houston Street in his career.
The 2-1. Served out into left field deep. Blackman back. Still back, and he makes the play on the warning track for the first out of the ninth. Unless the Yankees rally, that will end Cano's 11-game hitting streak. Here's Nick Swisher. He is 1 for 3. Always felt that if Street pitched here in New York with the Yankees or with the Mets, he would have to be Houston Street. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Right over my head.
Really? I think you got it.
1-1.
Count 2-1. Swisher can work his way on. That would bring up Posada as the tying run. Yankees need a base runner to have a chance. That one swing, the 2-1.
I'll tell you what, Nick Swisher has had one of those nights where home plate umpire Ed Hickox has really given the pitcher some questionable calls. That's not even close.
Wow.
Way off the plate.
That's in the right-handed batter's box.
A whole different at bat now. Here now to count 2-2 instead of 3-1.
The 2-2. Count 3-2, so he's working count 4.
You really got to stay in this at bat mentally if you're Nick Swisher. Let a call go against you. You got a full count now. Really bear down. Make sure this pitch is a strike.
The payoff. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. So Swisher is 2 for 4.
Enjoy the look back at Ed Hickox, a home plate umpire. So he's frustrated with some of the calls that have not gone his way tonight. But good job staying through the at-bat, staying through the baseball right back up the middle. The Yankees alive here in the 9th inning. One swing of the bat, possible tie ball game.
Three at-bats for Posada against Street. He has one hit. Jorge tonight 0 for 3, struck out, grounded to first, and reached on an E4. And the pitch. Outside. 1-0 on deck is Russell Martin. High fly ball, left field. Blackman for the second out. As Swisher heads back to first, and the Yankees down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Jorge a little frustrated. He thinks he had a pitch to drive there. He's worked underneath it a little bit. Get another look. Fastball, middle, up, out over the plate.
Here's Russell Martin. Last chance for the Yankees. Pitch is high. Martin 0 for 3 lifetime against Street. Driven to right center. This should do it. Gonzalez is there, and he puts it away, and the Yankees lose the game 4-2. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Home run for Troy Tulowitzki. Jason Giambi with a long blast. Ubaldo Jimenez with the victory, and Houston Street with the save. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. So the Yankees again lose the opener. They are 12-14 in series openers this year, 6-8 here at the stadium. But they usually rebound. We'll come on back, give out some awards. Stay right where you are.